Do you think that a veto of this measure would be interpreted in Dallas County as, well, there's old Governor Smith exercising his petty vengeance on us?
Oh, it might, Travis. I don't know. And I doubt that if you just go into it really seriously politically, that it would affect future elections. There might be some that would say that I did it with a vengeance, which wouldn't be true, but I can recall that Governor Connolly vetoed a medical school at Texas Tech, legislation creating one, in 1965. Then in 67, he received more votes out there than he ever got before in his life. I believe that people appreciate a public official, whether it's governor, lieutenant governor, or speaker, if they're sincere and if they offer valid reasons for whatever they did in an effort to do the best job for all the people of our state.
Let me ask you this, then. Are you going to veto the bill?
Well, we're going to look at it.
If the 61st legislature adjourns with a one-year budget with a funding of the school program as presently anticipated, that is, funds only for the teacher's salary portion of the budget, then there will be no significant move toward equalization of financing education in this state. At this time, as you know, the present school minimum foundation program discriminates against large cities. We have nothing but the highest commendation for our legislative delegation. They have fought tooth and toenail to push equalization. They've done everything that we might expect of a legislative delegation. The problem is we've got a rurally dominated legislature, and we just have to admit it and live with it. When the state passes along improved programs such as vocational education, improvements in special education, kindergarten education, unless there's a move toward equalization, we will continue to be shortchanged because we get only 37 cents on every dollar from the state. The other 63 cents has to be raised locally.
One other point. Is this problem, or this facing this financial problem, going to interfere with the air conditioning of our schools?
There is no relationship, and I think this ought to be underscored, no relationship between the operating and maintenance fund of the school district and our debt service program, that is our bond issue. This is in a separate category, and it's difficult to understand, but there's no relationship between the two. This air conditioning of schools is a non-recurring item, a one-time item of expenditure, and is the funds for this are provided in our debt service program.
Yes, we're asking the school board to consider putting in the policy handbook a policy which will be beamed at any person or persons, whether it be a student or an adult, who would enter the school or be in the school with disruptive intent, who might in any way interfere with the educational process. And we're asking that this be prohibited and that we be permitted to take such steps as are necessary to cope with such a situation should it develop.
Do you have any specific plans at this time?
At this time, we are working on some administrative implementations of this policy, some guidelines, suggestions, and possible procedures which the principals will be given to put into effect in case such a problem or such a situation develops.
What's the difference between the state law and the city ordinance?
The state law contains a number of identical terms as now contained in the city ordinance in the definition feature. And the state law provides for an injunction and criminal penalties, as does the city ordinance. If the state has preempted that feature of it, which our study will reveal, and if we've made our final conclusion, then the city ordinance is ineffective to that extent. However, the state law does not provide for any type of motion picture or classification board.
Well, I could get my 4 years in school here in baseball also, and take me 4 years to graduate in college going the football route, so I just chose baseball, because there's a lot more interest in sport. You have about 150 ball games to play a year, plus in football you only have 10 ball games to play a year.
When you were on the verge of signing, before you actually did with Baltimore, did you look around at the various clubs to see where you thought you might have the best chance to advance?
Well, this club had a lot of outfielders, so I just said, well, I might as well jump in the pot with everybody else. So I'm right here right now.
How have things gone for you so far?
All pretty good. I'm yet to get started, but I'm on my way, I hope. So this team right here we have is a great team, and we all play together. If one guy's not having a good night, the other guy picks him up. So this is a great team we're playing for.
Don, you've been going to school and playing baseball. I think, as a matter of fact, before you joined Dallas this spring, you were in school down in Miami.
Yes, I was in school in Miami from January until last part of April, and I played there for 2 weeks to get in this shape to come here.